Hey guys, it's Trevor, and today we're going to be repairing the tent poles on my Zpacks Plexamid. Now, these carbon stays are kind of known for breaking. I don't actually know how mine broke. I was setting it up and I noticed that the pole is broken before I even set it up. So at some point, either in its stuff sack or a few days earlier when I was drying it out in the sun, the pole just broke, or something like that. I'm not really sure how it happened. The tent can be functional without the two poles, but you do lose that headspace. So that's something to note. You still get the same amount of floor space, so it's still wider on the bottom than like a Solplex, for example. When I reached out to Zpacks about it, they emailed me back a few days later and basically just asked, okay, what's your address? Or just confirm my address with them, which I did, and they sent it out. They didn't include any instructions in the email or in the box that the poles came in. My one fear is that these things are under quite a bit of tension. To get these to fit inside of the tent, you have to kind of jam them in a really tight space and bend them quite a bit. So I am a little concerned at breaking it. I'm going to take my time and really try not to snap these things on their way in. But yeah, I've got my tent here, and I've got my poles, and we're going to repair this thing. This is the design of the tent. You can see we've got one stay here that kind of curves around in a half circle and then locks down in this corner down here. And then you've got another one that would start here, and this is the one that broke. So they added this piece of carbon fiber tape around it. I'm going to remove that tape and put it on our other poles. So to start this process, I'm just going to remove this. See, it pops out, and there's quite a bit of tension on here. Let me just zoom out a bit. There's quite a bit of tension on that pole. The pole releases, and here it is. It's almost got a permanent bend in it. One thing I'm going to do is get really anal about this and mark on the pole where the tape is, and let's just make sure that's about the same for that one. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of the pole, and then I'm going to grab my other pole and do this same process of lining them up, kind of marking where the tape went. Same thing on this end. Doesn't need to be exact, but I just kind of want to get it in that same general area. So I'm going to start by removing this carbon fiber tape here from this pole. I'm hoping I'm able to reuse this. Should be able to. And I'm just going to wrap it around our new pole. Just like that. I really feel bad for the people on long trails right now that are having issues with their Plexamid. There's no real way to like wait for a mail drop if you're on a long trail. Anyway, so I'm going to start by repairing this side here. This was the broken side. I'm guessing I need to feed this through here first. And this is quite a bit thicker, so it's actually kind of hard to feed this through here. Yeah, there we go. There's it's like a double layered piece of fabric here. There's actually 2 layers on there. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a shot of that, but it's just kind of getting hung up on one of the sides. Anyway, so I'm going to feed that through and bring it back here to where it locks into that right there. And then I'm going to do something really scary. That is bend this whole thing. And hopefully not break it. Definitely feels very scary doing that. That is not a comforting feeling. I mean, there's got to be 15, 20 pounds. Maybe not that much, maybe 10 pounds of force on this pole. Again, it's kind of double looped there, so I'm going to try my best to feed it through now that I know it's double looped. It's a little bit easier on that one. And we're kind of learning as we're going. I'm going to do this same side first because you kind of have to go under this bug netting and trekking pole pocket. I'm just going to kind of slowly bend this into place, trying not to, again, break it. Gosh, that is sketchy. Okay. It's not quite in its hole. There it is. Kind of down in there. Make sure that's down in there. This could probably even be a little bit farther down in it. Okay, that's in it. That's in its pole. I'm just going to kind of balance those out. You can see that tape we put on there. It's where these kind of overlap each other. That is the repair. You can see this thing's nice and rigid again. I'm sure they explored other designs. This is probably the strongest because these things are under so much tension that they're not able to deflect the other way. You know, this is called deflection. Just in some of the work that I do, we have to calculate deflection on loads. And so when something that's straight is deflected a lot, the amount of pressure on the outside is a lot more. So you've got basically expansion going on here where this material on the outside of the rod is trying to spread apart, and on the inside you have compression. And there's only so much that a material can take before it breaks. And these carbon rods are pretty strong, but they're just not very thick. They're not like the thickness that you would find on some of their backpacks, for example. But yeah, that's the repair there. We got it. We successfully did it. That's going to finish up the repair video. Thanks for watching. I do plan on doing a full review of this tent later on down the road. This is unfortunate, but I still really like the tent, and I kind of want to test it a bit further. I don't like doing gear review videos on something that I've only camped in maybe 10 times so far. I kind of want to get into some more weather conditions. I've been in it in the cold. I've been in it in the rain. I haven't really been in it in much wind, so I'm kind of waiting for a trip where I have that sort of thing going on to do my full review. I also like to, put a good season use in it, so maybe look for that this fall. I do plan on reviewing my backpack after 2 years soon on this channel, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.